There's a feeling that shows up at some point in almost everyone's life. The feeling of being behind. It usually arrives quietly. You run into an old classmate. You see someone your age achieving things you haven't. You hear a success story. And for a few seconds, a question appears. What have I done with my time? Maybe you've felt this before. Maybe you're feeling it right now. Because when we're young, we imagine life will follow a script. First school, then work, then a few achievements, then stability. But life rarely respects the scripts we write for it. Sometimes an illness comes, a financial crisis, an unexpected responsibility, a loss. And sometimes we simply lose our way. When that happens, a dangerous trap appears. We start comparing our real path with an imaginary one. We don't suffer only for what happened. We suffer for what we believe should have happened. Think for a moment. How many times have you looked at someone and thought, they're further ahead than me? The strange thing is that we almost never know that person's whole story. We only see the result. It's like watching the last 5 minutes of a film and believing we understand the whole story. We see the promotion, but not the years of uncertainty. We see the company, but not the times it nearly failed. We see the happiness, but not the hard nights. And then we do something unfair. We compare the behind the scenes of our own life with the highlights of everyone else's. That comparison is impossible to win because you know all of your own doubts, but you only know other people's victories. Maybe the problem isn't that you're behind. Maybe the problem is the way you're measuring your own life. And to understand this better, it's worth knowing the story of James. James was 38 years old, and for a long time, he believed he had missed life's right moment. Whenever he met old friends, he felt a discomfort that was hard to explain. Some seemed to have found their calling. Others seemed financially secure. Others gave the impression of being exactly where they were meant to be. And James? James saw only what he hadn't achieved yet. The business that didn't work out, the plan left behind, the decisions he wished he could go back and change. Until one day, he noticed something curious. He spent hours watching other people's lives, but he almost never looked at his own journey. That was when a line from Seneca began to make sense. If a man does not know to which port he is sailing, no wind is favorable. James had spent years watching other people's ships, never realizing he had never stopped to choose his own destination. And maybe many people do exactly the same thing. We spend so much time watching whoever is ahead that we forget to ask where we ourselves are going. But there's something even deeper. Often we're not suffering because life went wrong. We're suffering because it turned out different from the plan we made. And there's an enormous difference between those two things. Life can be different without being worse. It can take another path without being lost. That's what James began to understand. He realized he was trying to return to a version of life that no longer existed. And the more he tried to recover the past, the more he failed to build the present. That was when another thought began to make sense. There's a well-known passage in Ecclesiastes that says, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to build, a time to begin again." For years, James believed he had wasted his time. But maybe the problem was never time. Maybe the problem was believing there is only one opportunity. A single chance. A single season of life when everything has to happen. But human experience doesn't work that way. Some people discover their calling at 20, others at 40, others at 60. Some people start early, and some people start when they're finally ready. Because maturity has a clock of its own too. And maybe that's one of the greatest illusions of modern life. The idea that everyone should be in the same place at the same time. but it was never like that. It never will be. Every person carries invisible challenges, invisible stories, invisible wounds. Every person is fighting battles others cannot see. So why expect identical journeys? James didn't transform his life overnight. He didn't get rich. He didn't find a magic formula. He didn't wake up motivated every morning. What changed was something much simpler. He stopped asking, "Why am I behind?" and started asking, "What's the next step?" That question changed everything. Because no one crosses a mountain staring at the summit the whole time. People move forward by looking at the next step. Then one more. Then one more. And before they realize it, they're somewhere completely different. Maybe that's exactly what you need to hear today. Not that everything will work out. Not that the future will be perfect. But that your story isn't over yet. As long as there's a next step, there's a path. As long as there's a new sunrise, there's a new possibility. And as long as you're still here, breathing, learning, trying, there's still room to build something new. Maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're just in the chapter you needed to live to become who you're becoming. And if that's true, then maybe something important is waiting for you, just ahead. But to find out, you have to keep walking. Because there's still time to begin again. There always is.